JD from theinstituteofwow.com. One more time for Sunday. I made a mistake in my last live stream. Someone said to me, hang on, you said that there were 2 ways to get free publicity and you only gave us 1 way. And I said, be provocative. The other way is, I'm sorry for that, if you watched my last live stream and you went, okay, there's 2 ways. Number 1 is be provocative in your media release if you want the media to pick up your story and run it for free. So the one of 2 ways to get free publicity is that. What's the other way? I rambled off and ranted about something else, forgot all about the other thing. So for those who just contacted me, I've got a couple of text messages on my phone. JD, could you stop teasing? Tell me what are the 2 ways to get free publicity for my products or services. The second way is invent something new. Okay, my view is that the only way that a journalist from a newspaper, radio, TV station will ever be mildly interested in what you've got to say in your media release is that if you do 1 or 2 things. Either you've invented something new, which Wendy, who I showed in my last live stream, had invented a can of pure oxygen that can help people after heavy sports or perhaps having a hangover. So she had invented it. It wasn't in Australia. So therefore, that's why all the journalists just went, wow, this is brand new. This is an invention. Now, I know it wasn't electricity, but nonetheless, it was oxygen in a can to help, if you like, give people energy after they've been working out or after they've, been out for a few drinks that night. So a new product, new invention, she got on TV, radio, newspapers all around Australia. The other way, of course, is to be provocative. And I wanted to show you how we got Ray Martin, yes, Channel 9's Ray Martin, to sell our house probably 15 or so years ago now. We lived in a little country town called Gloucester in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales, and we wanted to move to the Gold Coast, which is where we live now. And so therefore I knew that if we were to get a real estate agent in to sell the house, chances are that we probably wouldn't get what I could get for it if I actually used some provocative media releases. So we'd dealt with some real estate agents beforehand, and I didn't have a great opinion of many of them. I know that there's exceptions, but I felt that they didn't really have the marketing skills to sell the house for the price that we wanted. It was a beautiful 14-acre property that we had in Gloucester, and we wanted $1 million for it, and which today's money is still a big money, but back then, 15 plus years ago, that was certainly a lot of money. So therefore, as it's turned out, we put it in the hands, stupid me, a couple of real estate agents. They came up with nothing. And I said to my wife, look, forget it. I'm supposed to be Mr. Wow Factor marketer, so I'll take it on myself. I decided to send out a provocative press release. This is where the provocative thing comes in, because there's no way that a journalist from a newspaper or TV station would ever go, oh, this guy's selling his own house, that's cute. I had to criticise the real estate agents. So therefore my press release that went out basically said that many real estate agents had no clue about marketing. They were probably driving a bus last week, or they might have been digging roads, or they might have been school teacher, they might have been doing something else, but they certainly didn't have a lot of clue with marketing. And the reason is because I'd never seen a real estate agent ever that had showed humans in their ads. They show ghost houses. There's empty lounge rooms, empty kitchens, empty backyards, empty swimming pools, empty tennis courts. And my view is that if you are trying to sell a property to a baby boomer, my vintage, you would show baby boomers having a cup of tea in the kitchen. You'd show baby boomers maybe, mowing the lawn or sitting outside having not mowing the lawn, but enjoying the lawn on a picnic. If you were selling, for example, maybe a unit, a townhouse in Surrey Hills in Sydney, you might show 2 millennials smoking dope in the kitchen. Okay, so it's message to market match, and I've never seen a real estate agent really nail that. I mean, a few of them are getting better, but at that time I had not seen a real estate agent that ever showed a human in their ads. So I sent out a press release. And that press release went out to radio stations and newspapers and so forth. And guess what happened? A newspaper, I'm just going to bring it up now, a newspaper in Sydney picked it up, and I'm just going to show you what it looked like. That was the press release, basically because we've got 6 kids. They were younger at that time, so they did a play on the headline of now it's time to say goodbye to all the family, the whole, Von Trapp family Mickey Mouse thing. And you'll see a picture of the property there. They ran a whole story here about this guy being frustrated with real estate agents, and he was selling his house himself. Ray Martin happened to be reading the paper that morning. Yes, the Ray Martin from Channel 9. So he had one of his people ring me up, and they decided to bring a helicopter up to my 14-acre property at Gloucester, and they decided to run a 4-minute story. I'm not going to play the whole 4 minutes of it to you. If you want to watch it, you can actually click the link above. You'll see I've got a link above this video, and this is what Ray Martin did. I'll just play a little bit of it, and you can see how Ray Martin sold my house. By the way, we were wanting $1 million for it. The real estate agents were telling us we'd probably get 650, 700 tops, so I told them to get on their bike and leave me alone. We sold it for 1.2 million. okay, 200,000 above what we thought we were going to get. 2 days after this story went on Channel 9, we were flooded with inquiries. This is what Ray Martin had to say.
They're reaping a bonanza in commissions, up to $10,000 on the average house, I'm told. That's your money in their pocket. So why not keep all that money yourself? Here's David Eccleston.
Don't get a second chance at a first impression with real estate. You got one chance, mate. You got to grab them. You got to grab them and keep them.
John Dwyer has made millions in advertising. His home in Gloucester is the undeniable symbol of his success. Now it's up for sale.
So not every home can boast a golf course.
I guess not.
And it's my kind of course, this, short.
Absolutely. Half right.
You'd think with a property like this, no agent would have a problem attracting bidders. But no agent will have any role in selling John's place. He's selling it himself.
Oh, how's that?
He believes too often agents do too little and get too much of your money. So now John is using the same principles that brought him success in the advertising world and applying them to real estate.
It's just a matter of looking inside your home and outside your home and identifying the features that you think are reasonably unique to your home and then marketing those to the audience that you think might be interested in your property.
His first step was to take out an ad, a rather large ad. Most of us couldn't afford a spread like this, but John says the principles remain the same. No matter how big your home is or small your budget, the smarter way to sell is to do it yourself.
You could certainly save thousands, if not tens of thousands. A lot of people would think that they need the help of a real estate agent, but in fact, they can go alone. They can do it themselves if they follow some simple rules.
If not, email can also be effective.
So the choice is yours. But as the property boom continues, a glance through any weekend paper shows us more and more Australians are choosing to go it alone.
Because you know your home or your property better than anyone else, you know all the good points and perhaps not so good points. You know it probably much better than a real estate agent can ever know it within 2 hours of inspection. So why not sell it yourself?
Yeah, David Eccleston with that story, that advice. There's more information on do-it-yourself real estate at our website, 9msn.com.au/ACA.
Okay, so there you go. I thought I'd show that to you because Ray Martin played a pretty significant role in selling our house, and that wouldn't have happened had I not sent out a press release to the likes of the newspapers and said that basically real estate agents, a lot of them, didn't have any marketing skills, and so therefore, you know, just beware when you're choosing a real estate agent to actually sell your property, because the very first thing they should know is marketing. After all, that's how they earn their commission. Ask any real estate agent, do they have any marketing qualifications? And normally you can hear crickets in the background, because even today, 2019, there's not many of them that actually have a marketing qualification at all. And so therefore, guess what they do for a living? They market homes. That would be like a doctor not having a medical qualification. It's crazy. And so when I put that in the press release, again, pretty provocative, of course, you know, the newspapers just grabbed it, the radio stations just grabbed it, and Ray Martin happened to be reading the newspaper and got one of his journalists to ring me up. We're talking about a helicopter coming up the next day, landing on our 14-acre property, of course. I mean, everyone who were neighbours, not that you have neighbours on 14 acres very close to you, but nonetheless, people who saw the Channel 9 helicopter coming down, landing on my property, thought I must have been a bank robber. But it was just basically because they're going to spend a day with me doing this incredible story. I zipped through that, so you didn't have to watch a whole lot of it. If you wanted to watch how Ray Martin sold my house, just click the link above and you'll get the whole story. It's my old website. I've got a new website now, theinstituteofwow.com, but my old website from 15 years ago was called cooleybarmarketing.com.au. So the link that you're seeing above, that's why it says cooleybarmarketing.com.au. If you click that, you'll see the whole story about how I used free publicity to sell my house. So because we sold it for about 1.2, I don't know what the commission on that would have been, maybe 30 or 40,000. We saved that. Cost me none of that. Not that I would worry. If a real estate agent, if I had confidence in a real estate agent that they understood marketing half as well as I do, then I'd be happy to pay 30 or 40 so I didn't have to do anything. But as it turned out, I didn't have to do much at all, just one press release. And again, remember, if you want free publicity through any online or offline publication, you need to do either one of two things. Number one, invent something, but chances are that, unlike Wendy with the oxygen can that I've been talking about, maybe you won't invent something. And if you can't invent something, be provocative, because if you're not provocative, a journalist is not much interested in you, okay? They want a provocative story. Okay, over and out. I just thought I'd mention that because on my previous post I talked about free publicity and the two ingredients that you should have if you're going to chase free publicity, and I only gave one of them, and I copped a bit of a serve. Okay, have a good Sunday night.